Hello? Hello? Yes. So, good afternoon. My name is Silvia. I work at Google. And although I've been a software engineer and a tech lead there, and it has been almost 8 years, I only had my first interns last year, thanks to the motivation of my mentor, Tanya Riley. Thank you. So it was a really amazing experience for me as a host. And today I'm going to share some of the learnings that I found so valuable with you all, and hopefully you will also be motivated to host an intern. So, what makes an internship successful, in my humble opinion? Some of the benefits for the interns are pretty straightforward. You hear a lot about them, so they get to get some practical experience, get exposed to lots of different roles in the engineering field, and professionals from all different backgrounds. And hopefully they get to provide some meaningful result with impact and effect, conduct some research, and get some extra money to pay for college or whatever they want. The things that are not always advertised are the benefits for the host. Yes, we do get something out of it. And I think these are the most special ones. So the host of an intern has this special contract that is a time period, a restrained time period of 3 months, 6 months that they will host someone else. So you don't really need to have previous experience to do this. You will have time to plan ahead on the project for someone else, so you've never done it before. You have time to do it, and you can ask for help from your manager, other tech leads. You're not only going to plan about the project of your intern, you're going to plan about the whole internship experience. Of course, exercise clarity, communication, objectivity, and get to work with someone that just started in the company, has lots of fresh ideas coming out of, new people. So it's great. I really enjoyed it. So let's see how you can work on that if you want. So let's start with some core rules. Yes, you're laughing at the second point? I hope so, because the first one is be respectful. This is a person, this is a new professional. They will be evaluating you. You're going to be their role model. Everything you do, they will try to replicate. Trust me, it was kind of weird when I saw my interns doing, my hand stuff. They started doing that. It's kind of weird. So yeah, be a role model, okay? And know your intern's name. Please do so. Don't call them interns. Don't call the kids. Don't call the you. They have a name, use it. It's probably a beautiful name. Okay, I only have 10 minutes, so I'm going to focus on the most important part of internship, which is planning. Yes, you must have a plan. And the plan starts with the choice of a project. First thing, the project must be meaningful. Do not assign a project to your intern, which is to fix that bug that you are avoiding for the past 6 months. Don't do that. Try to find something that they can deliver to someone outside your team. Why is that? Because you will be giving feedback to them all the time during their internship, and by the end of the internship, if they get feedback from someone outside, it's going to be something completely different. It's going to be like delivering something to a client, which is what we do all the time, right? So it's important that you really know how to deploy the project, how to deliver the project, so you can better access the technical challenge of it. So if your intern is first year college, plan for something that is less challenging than someone that is a returning intern with a master's degree, right? And also plan to accommodate the unexpected, right? your interns might have an amazing performance and finish before time. That's great. So what they're going to do on their last 3 weeks? Like read magazines? No. So plan ahead. Allow your main project to have adjustable scope, and also allow your interns to contribute more. So you may have an initial minimum project, but have some extra features ready for them to act on. Remember that your interns are also human beings, so things might get on the way. So 3 months, 6 months, they might get sick, they might need to travel, and you don't want to jeopardize their project just because they are people, right? And again, you can also use these extra buffer weeks of the whole project to accommodate a final challenge, maybe. I'm using here a model of 13 weeks, which maps roughly into 3 months, but if you have interest for a longer period, that's okay. Just accommodate it. So for this presentation, I'm going to use 10 weeks for our main project. Also, keep in mind that your intern is going to learn a lot, and each person takes time to learn things. This is a simplification of how people learn things. So, well, people usually start and know absolutely nothing. So they have to absorb everything. They have to figure out where is the information that they need, what it is, how to apply it. They might get a little lost in the middle, and when they are just before reaching a conclusion, they might think, am I actually right? Is this enough? Did I get it? And then once they pass that point, they become experts, and they can move on to the next challenge. So the whole of the host is to walk side by side with the intern, and at each step of learning, you are there for them. So you provide guidance when they don't know where to start their learning, and you keep them in focus when they start to diverge sideways. Once they are ready, almost ready to finalize their learning, you empower them and say, yes, you actually got it. You learned it. You're ready to go. And once they reach the expert phase, you're there to challenge them again. So you can use your buffer weeks to accommodate learning process. Some people take a little longer to learn things. And if this is your first try, you might not get the actual necessary time to learn whatever they need to perform their internship, right? So give them some extra buffer time. Okay. Yes. Given the time that you reserved for your main project, so in this case, 10 weeks, don't accommodate all the time for learning and implementation and tests. They need to do way more than that. So on the first week, first little piece of their time, save it so they can understand the project and the impact. They're not autonomous engineers. They have to understand what's the goal of what they're doing. So give them some time to acclimate to their new work environment and understand the project. And then, of course, the largest part of the time, they will be working on learning technologies and developing code and deploying. In this example, I'm saving some time to dedicate to the launch period and gathering user feedback. This is a really important part of what we do. So why not expose them on early stages of their career to that? So collecting feedback from users and analyzing impact. The impact that is usually straightforward is easier for interns to receive, but sometimes they have like secondary effects that you need more experience to figure it out or to spot them. And everybody needs closure. So save the last week to work with your intern to review everything that they learned, everything that they did, and how they grew over this time. So we have a plan. Is that all? No, there are just a few more things that you should care about. Make sure that your intern has a safe test environment where they can play and explore whatever new technologies that they are learning about. Make sure that your documentation is up to date. That's useful not only to your intern, but new members of your team also. You can ask them to update the documentation if they bump into something that makes no sense. Write a few exercises that connect technologies together and walkthroughs. And this is really, really important. Have a backup host or mentor, because just as them may need to travel or they might get sick, you can do that too. Right? You are also a person, and it's not fair to jeopardize your intern's project just because you're not there for them. A backup host is someone that understands the project and is side by side with you, orienting this person. It's not just someone that will come out of the blue and say, hey, by the way, Silvia is not here today. I'm going to be your Silvia for today. So if you have to remember 3 things about this presentation, please, this is the checklist. So for amazing internships, have a plan and give your intern a meaningful project that you would like to work on. Have a safe test environment where they can play and not break production or something like this. And have a backup host. It's really, really awesome. And that's it. Thank you.